Good morning, TJ, and welcome to the newest edition of TJ TV News. My name is Garb.
And my name is Ananya. Today is Tuesday, February 23rd.
Juniors, are you interested in a summer leadership and citizenship experience? Boys and Girls States will be virtual this year. If you would like to apply, please contact Ms. Smith this week. Students who are considering applying to military service academies or who have family who has served in the military are especially encouraged to apply.
With students on screens for long durations while in virtual learning, engrossment in real-time strategy video games has only exacerbated screen time. While opponents have dismissed this subgenre as mindless or pointless, TJTV News reporter Alex Zhou shares his take on the academic advantages of RTS games.
Are video games going to help us academically? Well, if you ask most people, probably not. It is a pretty common idea that adults don't like teenagers playing video games, likely because they think it's a waste of time or that we already spend too much time on screen and should do something else for entertainment. But are they really correct? Well, let's look at one genre of video games and how they break this notion that video games aren't helpful. RTSs, better known as real-time strategy games, are a subgenre of video games primarily concentrated on resource management rather than reflexes. They're not that popular, probably because they're a lot slower and a bit more methodical. They don't have anything big or flashy that would be immediately obvious to every viewer. However, perhaps the greatest difference between an RTS and a first-person shooter game like Call of Duty or a party game like Among Us is the skills that are emphasized. First-person shooters are more about quickly rotating around the map and relying on reflexes, skills that aren't as useful outside of video games. However, RTSs are different. The nature of the game is much slower, allowing for structured strategization. There's also a lot more multitasking. You are not simply controlling one character, but controlling up to 200 different things, checking multiple different locations, and having to figure out what your opponent is doing to react appropriately. At first, it may seem that these skills can be applied in an academic context. It's hard to see any kind of connection, but the connection lies in time management skills. Time management skills are a problem that I'm sure a lot of us struggle with, but in the context of an RTS, it is about not wasting a single moment. Due to the nature of the game, you don't have a second to waste, as whatever decision you make needs to be done quickly. This differs from other genres because of the time scale. Anyone can make a decision given hours or days, but what if you're given just seconds? While this might sound like our natural reflexes, this is actually a skill that has to be learned. This is similar to writing a timed essay without knowing the prompt beforehand. There, you can only block out large amounts of time for planning, writing, and revising. RTS games can also help you simply understand what to focus on. We can compare this with this. Both of these are visually complex at first, and yet the math question seems more simple, more straightforward. This is because you know what to prioritize for the math question. Your eyes naturally skim over the table, look at the words for an equation or context to derive one, and how to arrive at an answer. This is essentially the same skill you need for an RTS, knowing what to prioritize. For the RTS, I am looking at the positioning of the units here and trying to use my spells efficiently while also avoiding any of theirs that they might use. Whenever we play RTSs, we are practicing the skill of prioritization, despite it not being exactly academic. As you can see, video games are not a homogeneous group of meaningless entertainment. Some games have a lot of depth and complexity that you simply need to find. For TJTV News, I'm Alex Z, signing off.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and listen to the TJTV Podcast Network on SoundCloud. For TJTV News, this is Garb Jane.
And Ananya Chalkamari. Enjoy the school week, and we will see you next week.